Hi everyone, welcome to the third video of the Supabase and React Native series. Today we'll continue from where we left off in the second video and display our to-do items like we have here in my Adobe XD, and we'll also go over creating this model to add new items to our list. So jumping back in VS Code, let's import useState. We'll use this to store our to-do items. And then I'll also need a scroll view, which has already been imported, and then I can get rid of these other imports that I'm not using at the moment. And then we'll give our safe area some styling. We'll call it main view. And then for my main view, I'll give it a flex of 1. And the background color will be my to-do list background color. And then let's go ahead and get rid of the current content that's in our safe area. And I'll then add a scroll view here. And then for this one, we'll add some styling as well. And it's going to be content container style. And we'll call this one scroll view. And then we'll also give it a flex of 1. Justify content. Will be center. And then we'll also align item center as well. And background color will also be the same as our main view. Cool. So the next thing from here, let's maybe add our heading, which will be this my list heading here. So let's import text, which has already been imported. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's disable align items for now. Then let's add a padding to our scroll view. Give it a padding of 10. Let's perhaps say 15. Awesome. And then maybe we can also remove the justified content. Okay, that should be fine. And then we'll add some styling for our text. Then let's go ahead and check the font size here. So 30 pixels. Then font weight also bold. Awesome. And then let's give it a margin top. So we'll give it a margin top of about 90 pixels. Let's make it 16. Okay, that's much better. And then what we can do from here, let's add the plus button here. So let me just check if I have React Native vector icons installed. Okay, I don't have it installed at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'll just export this icon and use that instead. So desktop, React Native Supabase. Let me go ahead and create a source folder. And then inside my source folder as well, I'll just create an assets folder and export that there. Let's see if we have it. Okay, there we go. Awesome. And then I can just say import add item icon from source assets. Let me just rename this icon to add icon. Cool, there we go. And then let's go ahead and add a view here. This will be our add new item view. And then for this new add item view, so this will be this whole entire view of our add button. So I'll just say style equals styles dot add button. Okay, and then start off with the width and height. So width will be 77. So is the height as well. Then background color, copy it from Adobe XD. Then border radius 100%. Let's see how that's looking. Oops. Okay, let's just make it 100. Perfect. And then we'll say display flex. Okay, let's say bottom first, 0. And then right will also be 0, and then we'll give it a position of absolute. Okay, awesome. Maybe let's make that fixed instead. Okay, fixed is not allowed, so we'll keep absolute. And let's give it a margin right of about, okay, let's keep it the same as our default margins that we have here for the padding. So that will be 15. Awesome. And then the padding bottom will remain as it is. So maybe should we bring it up a bit? Yeah, maybe let's do that margin bottom. Let's make it 15 as well. Okay, let's bring it to the left a bit. Let's say 20. A bit more, 25. Perfect. And then for our drop shadow, let's do this. So React Native drop shadow. We'll use a drop shadow generator. Cool. Let's just copy all of this. Then we can paste it on there. There we go. So we have our button and the drop shadow, and then we can just put our add item inside there. Our add icon, sorry. So for that, we'll just import image. And then our source will be the add item icon that we imported there. And then we'll go ahead and style that as well. Then let's get the width and height of our icon from here, so it'll all be the same. Width. Then just change the comma there to a point. And then height will also be the same, 29.31. Oops. Has to be source. Awesome. And then for our add button view, let's just center our items there. So let's come here, say align items, center, and then justify content. Center as well. Awesome, there we go. And then perhaps we can add a touchable opacity around this so that it's clickable. Let's go ahead and import that, touchable opacity. And obviously we'll have a function that will call to add new items when this button is clicked. So touchable opacity. Oops. Perhaps we could do this instead. Much better. Then we can remove the view basically and wrap everything around the touchable opacity. Yeah, there we go. And then so now from here we can go ahead and display our items. So let's import flat list, which we'll use to render all our items here. So flat list, and then we'll also create a component folder within our source folder. Oh no, components. And then our first component will be to do item.js. To do item. And then we'll pass some props to this. Go ahead and import view and text and style sheet as well from React Native. A default export to do item. Oops, export default to do item. Awesome. Okay, so here let's create a new state to store our to-do items. We'll just call it items, and we'll have our function to set the items, and this will be an array And then here, once we've got our items, all we can do is just call set items to items. Awesome. And then here we can add our flat list, which we'll use just to render each item. And then the data for our items will be the items that we created, so the item state. And then to render each item, we'll just import or call to do item. So let me first import that. Awesome. And then we'll add our key extractor to uniquely identify each list item. And then here we'll be using our item IDs. So each item returned from Supabase has this unique ID, and we'll use that to set our key extractor here. So it'll be item.id. And we should be good with our flat list. It says here invalid, expected a string for built-in components. Okay, so we're having a render error here. Let's just fix that. So here, let's do this instead. We'll have our item and then index being returned. And then from there, we'll just have our to-do item component. And then the data that we'll pass will just say item equals to item. Okay, so this value for our key extractor, this has to be a string. Let's just change that to fixed. Okay, so I also think we imported flat list incorrectly, so it's supposed to be flat with the capital L. Let's go ahead and just fix that. Flat list. There we go. See here, virtualized list should never be nested inside plain scroll views with the same orientation because it can break windowing and other functionality. Okay, so let's just replace scroll view. We'll just keep a normal view here. So this is bad practice, as it says there. Yeah, there we go. Let's keep it like this. And then for to-do item, we'll create a view here. And let's also create some styling for that view. Let's call this view item. Then the styling for this will basically be this to-do item here. Width, let's rather make it 90%. Then we'll give it a height of 46. Border width 5 pixels. No. The border width is 1. Yeah, it's just 1. Then background color is white. then border radius is 5. Okay, let's apply this to our view. Yeah, I forgot we're not getting anything for our items. Let's see if it's connecting now. In the meantime, what we can do, I still have the Postman collection from last time. So while this is still connecting, I think maybe it might be my internet connection. Let's get the result that we got. Where was this? Okay, let's use this instead. Okay, perfect. So we can just use that for styling in the meantime. And then let's wrap this inside of another view to center everything. We'll just call it main view as well. Width for this one will be 100%. Justify content, set that to center. Align items, center as well. Perfect. I think we can remove the justify content instead. Okay, awesome. And then let's add a margin top to our to-do item. Make it 10. Let's see, how much spacing do we have between each? Let's make it 5, or rather 8. And then the my list heading will give that the margin bottom of 30. Perfect. And maybe let's increase the width here a little bit to about 98. Much better. Wait, let's see something here. 100%. Will that make any difference? Okay, let's keep it at 100. That should be fine. I think it's because our safe area has some margin set already for it. Okay, that's cool. Let's change the color of our border there to something. Oh, let's see here. What's the opacity on this thing? 25. Okay, so let's use the RGBA instead. So what I'm going to do is, let's do it here. And then this will have to be 25%. Then I can just copy this and set it as my border color here. Border color. And then just replace that, add a comma there, and there. And then just set that to RGBA instead of RGB. And that will be 025. There we go, perfect. Awesome. And then here we can add in our text inside our item view. So let's see, it'll be item.description. Just change that to item. Okay, so items. And let's just center our text, so align items, center, and justify content instead, rather. Much better. And let's give our text some styling. Style will be styles.to-do text. Margin left. Make it 10. Awesome. Let's see if this is connecting. Okay, so I think I'm going to end it here for this tutorial and pick up in the next video once this has been resolved. So in the next video, we'll go over updating our to-do items to completed, and then also continue off with the model here to add new items to our to-do list. But for now, that should be it. Till next time, everyone. Cheers.